Hey, friend, let's talk about how to not bomb your wedding night. We're Josh and Cassie Spurlock, your hosts, and this is the Road to Happiness podcast, where if you're new here, we talk about all the things to help you mature into true happiness. We love to apply biblical truth and neuroscience to life's challenges because we want you to live the abundant life that Jesus designed for you and designed you for. So we want to thank our sponsor, My Counselor Online, leading provider in faith-based mental health. And let's roll into it. Let's talk about how to not let your wedding night be a nightmare.
Yeah, nobody wants that, right? No one imagines the wedding night to be a nightmare.
No.
Not most people.
No. Especially if you have waited till your wedding night. Like, it's supposed to be something dang special.
Right? That's the idea. And yet, you can't help but have a fantasy about what that's going to be like.
For sure. Like you have no sense for having experienced the pieces of it, but you have so much outside input and even like hopes in your heart of what it should be or could be like.
Yep. Which sets up expectation, sets up kind of the potential for disappointment, frustration, things to go weird or sideways or just not as expected. But
yeah,
we can help. We can have a conversation and you can have a conversation together with your fiance about what to expect and what's going to happen so that you can navigate the potential pitfalls and have it be a really great experience instead of a really negative experience. So that's what we want to talk about today. Let's dive into some of the conversations that would be helpful for you guys to have before your wedding night.
Yeah. And let's just preface it with the understanding that your wedding night is not about performing a certain way. It's about connecting. It's about bringing together this union that you've just pledged to each other and that you're starting together. And connection is where it's at.
Yep. Your wedding night sex should really be like the worst sex of your entire life. Like, it's special and it's memorable because it's new, assuming it's new to you. But, in terms of the quality of the experience, it should really be the worst of your life. Like, sex is designed by God to actually get better with time. As you grow in spiritual intimacy, as you grow in emotional intimacy, as you get to know each other more, have more safety with each other, that you learn your own body, you learn your spouse's body, you learn your sexual response. Like, it gets better with time. That's how it's designed. And so when you come into it, you got to think about like a, newborn baby giraffe learning to walk, right?
Yeah, it's about like that. That's a good, I remember.
A little awkward, stumbling, fumbling around. That's okay. That's how it's supposed to be. And when we can not have the expectation of it being like Hollywood movie type experience, but instead, or romance novel or whatever the influence is that's kind of shaped your imagination about what it's supposed to be like, but instead be like, this is a fun experience for us to share together, for us to bond and grow around and through, and the first of many experiences together where we learn and it gets sweeter. But that's, the first conversation.
Newborn baby giraffes together.
Well, newborn baby giraffes together. That's right. The first conversation for you guys to have is just really about sexual history and education. Like,
Yeah.
what has been your experience sexually? And where did your thoughts and understanding about what sex is and what it's supposed to be, and what are the experiences and conversations and exposures that have shaped what that is for each of you? Because
Yeah.
each of us have different experiences that we bring into marriage. And so having an understanding of each other around what shapes those things for us kind of helps us know ourselves and know each other. Sometimes we've never even
Yeah.
thought about it ourselves.
Yeah. And using those opportunities to get to know ourselves better and to create emotional intimacy. Like we're trying to stave off on the physical intimacy till this coveted wedding night, right? But having these emotionally intimate conversations about this that prepare us for the physical aspect is so important and valuable. And additionally, a sweet opportunity for conversations that you're not having with just anybody. Like it is a unique conversation for you and your fiance.
And, it may seem like irrelevant or maybe not significant if you are coming in to marriage and you have had sexual experiences together or with others. And so, like, oh, this isn't our first time. And so this isn't relevant to us. But I tell you the truth, it is relevant to you. That no matter what experiences you have had together or with others, that it's going to be different once you get married. It just
Yeah,
is by design and the
it
way
changes
things
it.
change and it shifts. And so having these conversations really helps prepare you to navigate this aspect of your life well and to get it off to a great start, right? To get it, started on the right foot as opposed to having some negative expectations or experiences that then you got to recover from down the road. So set it up for success on the front end, have these conversations, kind of work through the awkwardness of that so that you can have a great thing, build a great thing together.
Yeah. Here's a little secret about having a great sex life. Uh, there are always awkward pieces if you want to keep growing together in intimacy because it requires vulnerability. So get used to awkward, get used to being vulnerable. Start now, it will serve you well.
For sure. Next conversation to have is to clarify your beliefs about and purpose of sex. What are your beliefs around the purpose of sex, and what's the design of it, how it's supposed to work in your relationship? These are, again, things you've never had the conversation with yourself or even thought about. So you have to spend some time thinking about, what do I think the purpose of sex is? What do I
Yeah.
think God's design is for it? Is it just for reproduction? Is it for pleasure? Is it for bonding? Is it for all of the above? And what are the different influences that have shaped my thoughts about that?
Yeah. What are my expectations for the frequency of it based on what I think it's for?
Yeah, the realistic expectations. What are the expectations that we have around the experience itself? What we're going to feel, what we're going to see, taste, smell. What are the things that we think are going to be turn ons and turn offs for us? Like, what are
Yeah.
the expectations that how is initiation, decline going to work? How, what are we
Yeah.
going to do? What's going to happen in that space? What's our expectations for that?
I think that's really important, especially as we go into the wedding night, you know, to have that conversation ahead of time, because there is so much we can accidentally put so much pressure on the wedding night to be a certain thing. And so it really helps to just have earnest conversations about what do we think that's going to look for? And that just continues in our sexual relationship. I mean, it still continues. We've been married almost 20 years. We're still talking
Sure.
about expectations and naming things.
Absolutely. Not only, setting expectations for what we're going to do and what the experience is going to be, but also discussing boundaries, about what do we not want to do?
Yeah.
What do we not want to engage in on our wedding night? And not necessarily what are our boundaries for the rest of our life going to
Yeah.
look like, but we're just talking about this season and this experience that we're having together. What's not something that we would like to explore in that space or time?
And on top of that, what happens if we're in the middle of engaging sexually and something happens and we're not okay with it, we're not comfortable with it? How do we prepare and have a discussion ahead of time? So when a moment like that comes up, because those moments inevitably do come up, how will we plan to communicate that with each other?
Yep. We need to talk about birth control. And are
Yeah,
we
super important.
preventing? Are we not preventing? What are the steps in preparation that we're going to do in order to navigate that? And who's going to do what? Who's going to
Yeah.
pick up supplies? Who's going to
Yes.
make a doctor's appointment? What are we doing? What's our plan around that so that we're not just winging it?
Yes.
Having
And
expectations that one party is going to do one thing
oh
and
my
they
gosh.
don't.
You get to the wedding night and you're like, I thought you were going to get the condoms. No, I thought you were going to. And then you're both like, what is happening right now?
For a gas station, you know.
Yes, a very hot wedding night adventure going to the gas station. And actually, on that on that note, just very practically, cleanup supplies because things
Totally.
can get messy.
And generally, if sex is new to you, messier than you expect.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk about like a wedding plan A and B, right? We may have your A plan as to what
Yeah.
you are, all the planning, what you want to explore, what you don't want to explore. We can have all these previous conversations, but things don't always go to plan, right? There's a variety of different things that can throw a wrench in things. Things just like physical exhaustion. Like sometimes by the time you get done with the wedding
You've been going
and
so
the
hard
reception
prepping for the
and
wedding. Yes.
didn't sleep much the night before and exciting
Yes.
anticipation, you may just be like dead.
Dude. Yeah. Like my bright idea to have us drive home 4 hours after our wedding, that was a dumb plan.
Yeah, that could have gone differently. That
It could have gone differently.
Yes. Yeah. So having a plan A and a plan B, there's no rule that says you have to have intercourse the first night that you get married. There's no rule that says you have to do any sort of sexual activity the first night that you're married. Like you have all day and subsequent days and a lifetime ahead for exploring and having experiences together. You don't have to put the pressure on yourself. It's okay to have a plan B that
Yes.
involves something other than connecting sexually. And maybe you go to sleep and you save that special new experience for when you're well rested the next day and can take your time exploring and having fun and not kind of feel rushed or exhausted and not fully able to take it in. That's legitimate. I'm not saying that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
Just saying
No.
have a plan
Although,
B option.
as a yes, as a tiny caveat, if you were like thinking of this ahead of time and you're like, well, I'm not really looking that forward to connecting with my spouse once we're married sexually anyway, I don't care that much. I just want to pause and say that's concerning.
Yep.
So we should talk about that if it's not that important to you because such a special and important aspect of married life that God gives us as a gift for spouses. And so not having a deep interest in that is a definite yellow flag that you should talk to somebody about.
Yeah, you should definitely unpack that with somebody. Could be related to your partner that you're with, your fiance. Could be related to experiences that are just part of your story that are shaping things, but it's not God's design. And it's not going to magically get better on its own just because of time, because you get married. It's not just going to work itself out. And as a certified sex therapist who's done thousands of hours of sex therapy with couples, can tell you that it's not going to just work itself out once you get married. And so you should plan to get some help. Make that part of your premarital. Maybe plan on doing premarital with somebody who's a sex therapist who can help you begin to unpack and think through those things prior to your wedding night, so that you're not trying to navigate all of that in the context of the new relationship together. So it's a good point.
And if that's where you are emotionally, like, there's hope. It can be different.
Totally. We can work through and figure out what that's about and find a solution. I think it's also helpful in this plan B department to say that sometimes things don't go quite as hoped for physically. Like there can be.
In fact, we hear that a lot.
Totally.
People come to us for sex therapy.
Absolutely. And, one misnomer is that it's normal for sex to be painful. And that's just not true. It's normal for it to be uncomfortable, initially, to be angst, or for there to be tension, and for there to be awkwardness, and for there to be, some discomfort, but it shouldn't be grit your teeth painful like that.
Yes, and physically, lubricant. Like, if you haven't tried that, start there.
Totally. That should be part of your supply kit for your wedding night.
Yes.
Kind of experience.
We should have a supply kit listed.
Right.
Like, this is what you should get. That's a great idea.
Lots of lube. But it shouldn't be painful. But sometimes it is. And you should not just play through the pain. It's a bad idea. It'll result in what we call sexual aversions. That is a pairing of the emotions and the fear and the bodily sensation of pain with the sexual experience in a way that squashes desire. And so you don't want to play through the pain, and that you want to do other things. Like, if trying and attempting intercourse is painful, stop. That doesn't mean that we can't connect in other ways, that we can't still enjoy connecting sexually without intercourse, but don't push through things that are painful. Troubleshoot why they're painful, get some help, and you'll be able to work through that. Like, we can address whatever it is that's causing that difficulty, and
very successfully.
Doctors don't always know how, because doctors don't get trained as sex therapists. Your OBGYN is not trained as a sex therapist. And so they may or may not know how to be helpful to you. Some do, some don't. So you really want to check in with a certified sex therapist as a pathway to troubleshooting what those difficulties are. But they can totally be figured out and solved. Don't make it worse by playing through the pain and adding sexual aversion to whatever is going on and causing difficulty on the front end. So please don't do that. Get help. We can fix it.
Yeah.
Have a plan B.
Another one would be trouble with orgasm. Give that some time, a little time. You got your honeymoon, you got, the early months of marriage, the exploration, the joy of that. But if you are still struggling after a few months, definitely see somebody. Definitely contact certified sex therapist, because y'all can talk through that, and that's normal. Like, don't be alone with it.
Yep. You should expect to orgasm regularly when you connect, both of you. If you're not, then something's off, and we can figure out what that is and help you figure it out. So, honeymoon is about connection. Right? It's about starting life together. It's not just about sex, but even within the sex, it's more about learning each other and sharing the closeness and engaging with playfulness and patience and lots of grace for yourself and each other so that you can, really enjoy the life you're building together, not just the sex life, but including the sex life.
Yeah. Just a reminder that intimacy is built. You can't force it. It doesn't magic. Like you have to put it together brick by intentional brick. And that's what makes it so solid and so sweet and so rich.
And there you have it. That's kind of your foundation for building trust and avoiding some of the common pitfalls that can cause honeymoons to be more nightmarish than dreamish. Right? Hey, thanks for joining us, hanging out with us. We love learning together. We love hanging out with you and sharing God's word and neuroscience to help you navigate life's challenges so that you can experience the abundant life that Jesus designed you for, what we call true happiness. We want to see you mature into it. Come back, see us again.
We'll keep learning together.
We'll keep learning together.